Hey everybody. So, new moon in the sign of Gemini. As we have said before, new moons are beginnings of cycles. This is where we either plant seeds or ground the foundation of something that we're going to, of something that we're going to build. This specific Gemini season is particularly loaded with air energy, meaning mental energy, voices that are trying or yelling to be heard. So, as I mentioned in a previous reading, in a previous video, we need to find a place where we allow others to speak. We allow ourselves to listen so that then we can speak and be listened to. When I was sketching this specific drawing, I realized by the end, when I was actually getting done with it, that I hadn't drawn ears for the figures. I mean, it's pretty basic. It's just the Gemini twins with a new moon there in the middle. And each one of them is speaking, actually, I don't know if you reached that part of the intro yet, but they're speaking each other's languages. So they are actually trying to understand each other, but they are not listening to each other until the very end. So this speaks to me about kind of a hard conversation that will be taking place, but we'll be seeing further into that. So without further ado, let's go into the cards. Welcome, this is me, and this is Hebrew Tarot. So, as I was saying, right now, it feels to me like this Gemini season is going to be very, very full of things to be said. And I think this is due specifically with this new moon. This new moon is happening in the sign of Gemini, making a trine to Pluto in the sign of Aquarius. Pluto is entering the sign of Aquarius, meaning it's still in the phase where Pluto is bringing out into the surface all the things that are rotten and that need to be cleansed out. So, this combination might bring a lot of hard things to be discussed, a lot of hard things to be talked about, basically. Ideally, with the goal of fixing them. However, potentially, the conversation might not be developing in a very easy way. So, we need to allow others to speak and allow ourselves to listen so that the conversation can actually flow. If you're dealing with somebody that will be just running, like racing to the mic and grabbing it before anyone else gets a chance to speak, really all that means is that they will speak first, but that doesn't mean that whatever they have to say is going to be more valid. If anything, if you get the chance to speak lastly, and you do it the right way, you will be heard after everything else is heard. So you would be kind of like the cherry on top. Anyway, let's see what the cards have to say. I just did the Spanish version of this reading, and it took a very specific way towards... Oh, sorry, I was forgetting to mention. I'm using as a significator the New Moon in Gemini card from the Moonology Oracle deck. And it says communication is key. And by communication, I'm going to add the tone in which you express yourself and the words you choose to do so. All right? So anyway, let's see what we have here. I'm using the Crow Tarot, which is the tarot I'm going to be using for the whole Gemini season. I love this deck. It's just beautiful. Okay. Okay. See? Someone's really rushing to yell something out there. A Page of Wands can be someone very impulsive, thinks that needs to go first, or is not very considerate about how things need to work out. Okay, so let's see. By the way, I'm using a very different spread than the one I did in the Spanish version. So I'm guessing this reading is going to have a different outcome. The Emperor, the Page of Wands, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Four of Cups. Okay, already I'm feeling a more gentler vibe to this reading. Yes, there's going to be someone young, maybe not physically or chronologically young, but someone with a very childish attitude, at least not very mature, kind of like a teenager, rushing to yell out things, while there's someone else in here. I mean, this is the only major arcana so far, and this is the Emperor card. This is the major boss, basically, in the tarot. It represents steadiness, it represents wisdom, it represents being ready for the fight, but not necessarily jumping into it right away. So this is to me kind of like a mature Aries and an impulsive youngster Aries. However, we also have the Four of Cups. In this case, is someone that, again, is paying attention and noticing an opportunity coming over here to actually stabilize the energies. And we also have the Nine of Pentacles, which is, again, someone that has become very self-reassured through practice, through learning, through putting in the work. The only thing that we're missing here is we have a major arcana. We have three of the elements. We're missing air. Let's see what we have in this card. The Ace of Wands. So this is definitely a very good beginning, I think. There will be someone trying to make a little much noise than necessary, but I think we're going to be able to handle it because all the other cards are quite peaceful, quite steady, quite sure of themselves. I love this version of the Four of Cups because contrary to the traditional Rider-Waite, this crow is not missing the chance. This crow is not unaware that there is something else coming in. So maybe we just let this specific voice that wants to be expressed impulsively and noisily and, you know, childishly, if those are even real adverbs. But because this is actually not just a new opportunity. This is opening up a way, a path here, and a very luminous one to something very promising. And see, all of the crows here are actually sitting, even the noisy one. None of them is flying away. None of them is trying to get out of the situation. It actually looks like everyone here is willing to listen. Let's see this last card here. The Fool. See, new beginnings. New beginnings. And again, steady. It's not rushing into anything. I think this is a very positive reading, actually. So all I have to say, oh look, that might be the only reference to air and Uranus. Yeah, no air cards here. Perhaps this group is doing the actual opposite. They're all listeners, and not everyone's necessarily speaking, but someone will. Someone will yell, actually. But it's good. I think it's really good because everyone is allowing everyone else to speak. And it will go good. I mean, this is a great new beginning with the Fool here. So, and yeah, there is a little bit of air here, but it's just sitting there, watching, paying attention, listening. Very good. Great. I can only say congratulations. That's the way to go. I think I'm actually going to leave it here. Let's this one over here. Communication is key, and I think you got it. You get the one of the most essential parts of communication, which is the passive part, which is listening. And I think you got it. All right. So thank you very much for your time, and see you soon.